Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're finally telling you what your pistol caliber says about you. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, and let's start the show. Some of you guys are not very good at paying attention to the little details and are prone to missing some minor things like the title of our videos. We know this because many of you have asked why we didn't cover your favorite pistol calibers in the comment section of our rifle caliber videos. Let's start this shit show off with the 10mm. You have a serious Napoleon complex and you constantly state that you refuse to carry those slower, smaller calibers because they have absolutely no chance of stopping some squirrely burglar who's more terrified of you than you are of them. Clearly, any bullet that delivers less than 600 foot-pounds of energy is not worth the lead it's been cast in, right? You continue to make outlandish claims that have only a loose basis in anything that could be considered relatively factual, and you're immediately recognized when drinking at the Legion because you're the guy who always has to have a better story. The one-upper, if you will, understands that you've done great things in your life, but he's done them as well and to a higher standard than you could ever dream to achieve. Guess what? Nobody gives a shit that you carry a 10mm, and telling everybody around you is just annoying. 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. I'm gonna use my crystal ball here to tell you your future. You've shot a couple of guns in your lifetime, but don't own any. At least not any pistols. You do have a girlfriend, surprise there, that you want to impress. You take her to the gun shop and you rent a pistol. You buy only one box of ammunition and it's the cheapest ammo behind the shelf that is over $2 a cartridge. You head off to the on-site range with the intent of causing a minor situation in your girlfriend's loins with your display of raw masculinity, only to return the revolver a short time later and ask if you can be the guy that returns 18 rounds of ammunition. No sex is had on this night, pussy.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
40 Smith & Wesson. You really have a hard time believing that 9mm is powerful enough to use as reliable carry ammo. But you also don't like sacrificing capacity, so 45 is out of the question. You ride the fence and hate to rock the boat. You refuse to take a strong stance on anything. The Bush-Gore election was the greatest learning experience of your life because you couldn't decide which candidate was more middle of the road. You ended up taking a sick day on that election and wept under your bed because you didn't want to make a choice. You are the absolute worst guy in the world to go to lunch with because you can't decide between Taco John's or Taco Bell. I mean, on one hand, you love potato olays, but on the other hand, you also appreciate the authentic flavor of Doritos Locos Tacos. You cannot decide. You're worthless and irritating. Oh yeah, and your favorite caliber sucks.
Oh snap.
45 ACP. You are a complete drama queen, but think you are the toughest dude around. Guess who shoots 45 ACP? Don't get me wrong, there is something extremely satisfying about dumping a heavy, slow chunk of lead into a plate as a bald eagle with a raging boner screams overhead as Steve Rogers nods in approval. But you really need to get over yourself. It's not 1942 anymore, and there are other calibers that are capable of remotely exfoliating T-zones. In fact, many calibers will do it better. If you want to see a prime example of how the 45 has been surpassed in its usefulness, check out 3-gun competitions. 9mm has gotten so good that the heavy metal category had to be created or else nobody would show up with their ridiculously priced $3,500 2011s. You and your caliber are obsolete and are best enjoyed as a testament to the past and should no longer be considered useful. This is so savage, Eric. Wow.
What's old man just coming straight at you?
Go get him, Tiger. Tell us how you really feel. 9mm. You know how that one time way back when we talked trash about the 45? Yeah, well that's partly because we found this younger, sexier caliber called the 9mm. 9mm, like hot chicks, have been around for several generations. But like hot chicks, they seem to get increasingly exotic and dangerous as time progresses. As loyal and as reliable as the 45 has been for years, it's never let us put 16 rounds in a standard capacity magazine of most full-size auto-loading pistols. This is the caliber you're supposed to like right now. If you're not blindly following the masses at this point, you clearly need to watch more YouTube until you're convinced that the Glock 19 is the best and only carry gun ever, and then take to the forums where you can remain in an echo chamber while you and everybody else continue to pleasure themselves to the tune of affordable ammo and high-capacity carry pistols. 357 Magnum. Hey dude.
Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee tuna?
I understand it. It may be hard to keep them concealed in the standard issue blue jeans from Old Navy, but you should at least try to keep them covered up for the sake of the children and the young, delicate ladies. Oh yeah, I'd prefer not to see them either. But Bryce does. Also, I have no interest in hearing you try to lecture me on how much better revolvers are as a carry option than semi-autos. If revolvers are so kick-ass and unjammable, then why is there zero, and I mean zero, in current military application anywhere? Also, yes, they can jam, and there are plenty of anecdotes on cylinders of revolvers either getting jammed or seized due to a number of reasons. And if you had any idea how filthy I can be, you might realize there's a very real chance of leftover pizza getting caught in the action of the revolver if I ever considered carrying one. 7.65 long, also known as 30 Peterson. This caliber was made by an American but never used by anybody other than the French government, and they stopped using it in the 1970s. If this is your favorite caliber, shut up. I don't believe you. Nobody likes this caliber. So that wraps up the first edition of What Your Pistol Caliber Says About You. If you dislike this video, then you probably shoot a 7.62 Nagant like an idiot. Seriously, why you do this? But if you liked the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and share it around with your friends. Consider subscribing to the channel and checking out our Patreon page to stay up to date on current and future content. And if you haven't done so already, head on over into the link in the description below to check out one of the sweet new Tundra Tactical t-shirts. Thanks for watching, guys, and you can now find us on Instagram at Tundra Tactical MN.